Burns and Crest, both audio-only broadcast. You can listen to the Crest broadcast, home team broadcast, and you can also listen to the Burns home team broadcast on our YouTube pages. For the links directly to those, you can find those on Facebook, or go to our homepage at the very top on the slideshow. Click on the Crest and Burns links, and that'll take you directly to those pages to listen to those. If for some reason Shelby AC Reynolds, which is on WHS 101.5 tonight, gets out of hand, we'll put Burns and Crest on the radio as well if something happens there with that Shelby. But we got Shelby AC Reynolds on WOHS tonight. Burns and Crest, you got those on both YouTube channels. Cherryville will be at West Lincoln tonight on WCSL 1590 AM, 92.9 AM FM with Chip Carter and special guest announcer tonight, Texas Terry Reinhardt on the call. But he's got to pull for the Cherryville Ironman right now. He's on the Cherryville Ironman broadcast. So we got to get him. Chip's got to get him straightened out a little bit before the game, Shannon. So we got to get Terry to say, "Go Ironman."
Terry the Turtle came out of his shell to broadcast tonight.
Yeah, he's here. He's coming out.
He didn't want to go see West Lincoln.
That's who they're playing.
Yep, he didn't go far.
Yeah,
he's doing the West Lincoln game. Yeah. So he didn't go far. Forestview will be at East Lincoln. We got another Lincoln County game tonight. That's our Lincoln County game tonight with David Potter and Scott Tudor. They're going to have that game out in Denver. Should be a good one. East Lincoln last week I struggled there with Kramer for a little while, and Forestview gave Burns a run. It'll be interesting to see how these two teams match up tonight. Roberson traveling to East Rutherford tonight. Richard Martin and Brian Faree will have that call tonight up at East Rutherford tonight. So Richard Martin and Brian Faree will have Roberson at East Rutherford. And that's our 5 broadcasts tonight. We're also going to have highlights on the Red Zone channel of those games, as well as Lincoln and North Lincoln. And we'll have highlights tonight of Palmetto Christian at Highland Tech tonight. So we'll have Highland Tech highlights tonight, folks, for you guys in just a little bit. So we're excited about that tonight. So we'll have them on the show. So if you're Highland Tech fans tonight, make sure you turn in to the post-game show in the Red Zone channel. We're going to have some highlights for you guys. We'll have you featured tonight here in week 2, Dennis. So we got the Rams, the Rambling Wreck from Highland Tech. You guys ready to go over the rest of the games there, Shannon?
Yeah.
All right, I'll let y'all handle the rest of those games on the schedule. For the folks at home, you can watch, well, you don't have to be at home, on your phones, tablets, take them with you to the stadiums, wherever you want, and watch the pregame show, the Red Zone channel, and the postgame show live on YouTube. There's our scoreboard tonight. Shannon, I guess y'all can divvy them up however you want.
Shannon, I want you to lead them off there.
All right, so Kevin already mentioned the ones on the top or top left there. Lincoln at North Lincoln also tonight. Hendersonville will be traveling to West Henderson. The Wilkes Central Eagles will be going to Alexander Central. Ashe County will be at North Wilkes. Charlotte Country Day makes the trip to Community School of Davidson. East Surrey will be at Mount Airy, and West Charlotte in a big one going down to Monroe.
Yeah, that ought to be a real slobber knocker there. Monroe is 2A this year, but they're very good. We didn't get to see them in the scrimmage against Crest, but they're usually very talented. And, of course, we know West Charlotte usually has a very talented team as well.
We see both those teams year after year in the playoffs, so that I would imagine that's a pretty good matchup tonight.
Oh, yeah. Well, then West Charlotte scrimmage Shelby in the Jamboree. So they got to play, but then Crest and Monroe only played like 5 minutes and it started raining. So.
Yeah. That's the way it goes. We've got Newton Conover at Hickory tonight. And right now, Shannon, if I had to give the defending state champions their due, I think Hickory's in the driver's seat in that conference. We'll see how they do in all of 3A. You've got Bunker Hill at St. Stephen's, and Bunker Hill is pretty good this year, too. Need to keep an eye on them. They're sneaky. You've got Bandy's Trojans and Fred T. Ford tonight at Bandy's. And my pick for the conference champion, South Point over Charlotte Christian Knights. And they, I think, had a guy pull out this week and go back to public schools who was one of their star defensive players. Why he did, I don't know if it had to do with money or recruiting or what the deal was.
Do you know who the middle school coaches are for Charlotte Christian?
No. Oh, yeah. Is that Luke Kinkley and all them?
Luke Kinkley, Greg Olson, and Thomas Davis.
That's a pretty good lineup right there.
Pretty neat.
Well, if they get beat, they should fire the coaches.
Yeah.
Oh, they're Panthers. They're used to losing.
They better be working for free, is all I know.
What else we got? Who else on the schedule there? Sam?
Oh, we've got Hunter Huss at High Brighton. Now, Hunter Huss played very well last week. They've got some talent this year. They could stir things up in that conference this year. And you've got Kings Mountain playing the Cox Mill Chargers. And Kings Mountain went down last week to Shelby. They'll be looking to bounce back. I don't know how they'll do against Cox Mill. We'll find out here in a little bit. Swain County, the Maroon Devils, will be hosting the Smoky Mountain Mustangs tonight. The Inca Jets will go over to Pisgah to play the Bears. The Irwin Warriors will be traveling to Mountain Heritage to play the Cougars. Polk County will take on the Tuscola Mountaineers tonight. Starmount, without Greg Lloyd this year, will be playing the North Iredell Raiders. And the Winston-Salem Prep Phoenix will take on the Lake Norman Charter Knights over there. Shannon, you want that top?
All right, so Chase will be traveling to Stuart Kramer. West Iredell will be going to West Caldwell. Bessemer City will be hosting North Gaston. Freedom, in a big rivalry in Burke County, will be hosting East Burke. South Caldwell will be hosting RS Central. And Catawba Ridge, the Copperheads, will be going to East Gaston. Palmetto Christian, as Kevin mentioned a while ago, will be at Highland Tech. Asheville Christian with Thomas Jefferson. Watauga will be going to Avery County. Mitchell will be at McDowell. Brevard will be traveling to Knoxville Catholic, just over the mountain. And Covenant Day will be traveling to Mountain Island Charter.
All right, folks. When we come back, I've got to get the power poll set up, ready to talk about Shannon. We've got last week's numbers, bookkeeping, and tax service player of the week. Okay, at Numbers is sponsoring a Cleveland County Player of the Week. Announcers from each game will submit our stats to the post-game show, and we vote on Friday nights. And we're going to announce the Player of the Week tonight between 11 and 11:30, probably closer to 11:30, folks, to make sure we get all our votes and calls in. Numbers will have a trophy made for each week's winner, and at the end of the year, we'll have a Player of the Year. Numbers Bookkeeping will present them a $250 scholarship, so be ready for that. Just a little bit brought to you by Numbers Bookkeeping and Tax Service, 707 South Lafayette Street, Shelby, North Carolina. Don't forget, you're watching and listening to the Witherspoon Insurance of Shelby kickoff show here on KTC Broadcasting. We'll be back with more with predictions, the week one of the Power Poll, and more. KTCBroadcasting.com.
Before you buy insurance, call and compare at Witherspoon Insurance in Shelby, featuring names like Progressive, National General, and State Auto. They do it all. Auto, home, life, health, commercial, motorcycle, RVs, golf carts, and indemnity bonds with low down payments. Call 704-480-9595 or drop by their office at 125 North Lafayette Street in Shelby, right across from First Baptist Church. Serving Cleveland County since 1986. Online at WitherspoonInsurance.com.
It's back to school time. Time to get ready with a stop in at Logos to Go in Shelby. Tammy Chapman is ready to help you with your back to school monogramming, from backpacks, lunchboxes to nap towels, also jackets and more. They have logos for local colleges, including Cleveland Community College, Gardner-Webb University, and Isothermal. Call Tammy Chapman today at 704-482-7482 for Logos to Go, 424 South Lafayette Street in Shelby. Open Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Like them on Facebook, too. The Yamaha Get Out and Ride sales event is underway at Full Throttle Power Sports in Lowell. Get 3.9% APR financing and up to $3,500 cash with approved credit for qualified buyers. But that's not all. Suzuki Fest is underway with 2.9% APR financing for 36 months for qualified buyers. And get the hottest ride of the summer with the Yamaha Slingshot with no money down or 5.99% APR financing for qualified buyers or $1,000 in customer cash. Come in for the details at Full Throttle Power Sports, 101 Indian Walk in Lowell. Online at ncfullthrottle.com.
Country Camping Corner in Kings Mountain is celebrating 40 years in business. In 2023, they were named North Carolina's #1 dealer in North Carolina. And to celebrate, they're offering big red hot deals for the summer. Come in and shop their inventory and make them an offer. That's right, make them an offer. You can save thousands of dollars, up to $10,000 or even more. Plus, financing is available. Don't wait. Someone may buy your camper. Make them an offer and save today at Country Camping Corner, 101 Oak Grove at the Highway 74 bypass intersection in Kings Mountain. Online at countrycamping.com.
There's not a better burger around than the ones at the 3500 Grill on Highway 18 north of Shelby. Hamburgers, cheeseburgers, ribeye sandwiches. Do I need to say more? Well, okay. Hot dogs, bologna, chicken sandwiches, BLTs, and even corn dogs. And try their jumbo hot wings and fried potato wedges. At the 3500 Grill, 3500 Falston Road, Highway 18 north of Shelby. Open 10 a.m. till 7:30 p.m. Monday through Saturday. For orders to go, call 980-484-3500.
You work hard every day to provide for yourself and your family. Why not let someone else help out every now and then? As your local Farm Bureau insurance agent, that's why I'm here, for peace of mind, and to help you to protect what matters most to you in Cleveland County. I'm Bert Costner. Call me at 704-482-2436 for a quick auto, home, or life insurance quote, and to learn more about how Farm Bureau Insurance can save you time and money. Be sure to ask for me, Bert Costner, 704-482-2436.
Call Bert Costner, your local Farm Bureau insurance agent, today.
The new climate-controlled storage units are ready at Bradley's on West Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. They're all sizes and are now available. And listen to this. New tenants' first month's rent is free. That's right, free. You have 24/7 access with a secured entrance. For more information, call 704-484-2077 and ask about the new climate-controlled units. And also see them for your travel baseball and travel softball team needs. Bradley's, 2522 West Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Online at bradleysinc.com. Like them on Facebook, too.
And welcome back to another Bristol Friday night football on KTC Broadcasting, the Witherspoon Insurance pregame show. Football Friday night with Kevin, Shannon, and Dennis. Football. I'm sorry. I enjoy saying football.
I don't even know what's going on. I'm so glad we're back. So we can cut JP's mic off. Welcome back to the broadcast. Are you ready for the power poll this week?
Hit it,
Shannon.
Yeah, let's see it.
You want to see it? Let me figure out how the best way I can do this. I've got to get everything set up. I might not have exactly what I want going here, but we'll see what happens. But anyway, for the folks listening on the air and watching at home, we'll do a little explanation of our PowerPoint standing. There's no voting. There's no what I think, what Shannon thinks, what Dennis thinks, or anyone else thinks. It's pure points earned. And how do you earn points? Well, all you got to do is win. If you beat a 1A team, you get 1 point. If you beat a 2A team, you get 2. You beat a 3A3, a 4A 4. If you lose, though, you lose points. If you lose to a 4A, you don't lose a point. Good effort. Lose to a 3, you lose 1. Lose to a 2, you lose 2. And lose to a 1A, you lose 3 points. That's how the points are added up and divvied up. So don't fuss at Shannon or JP or Dennis or anyone else. It's the math. If you don't like the math, Shannon, go to a different class. So first of all, we've got 39 teams. Pat not here this year with no varsity, so we've dropped a team on the list. So the teams that are on our power poll are teams that are in the conferences, follow along, of our teams that are in Gaston, Cleveland, Lincoln, and Rutherford counties. Those are our home-based schools. So if you hear a team like North Iredale, why are we talking about them? They're in the East Lincoln's conference. So that's exactly what we're talking about. What's up, Chipper? Everything working okay? Thank you. Chip, jump in here real quick, give a little quick preview of the game you're going to in just a second after I talk a little bit about this power poll. And then we're going to so we're going to have 39 teams. We're going to count it down and go through that. But Chip's got on his way up to West Lincoln tonight. Ironman 1-0. They stay alive and beat Avery County last week. Hold on, West Lincoln struggled a little bit and couldn't come up with a victory against North Lincoln. So both teams, West looking to get their first victory, and Cherville looking to go 2-0 for the first time in a while. Chip, what we got going on tonight?
Yeah,
West Lincoln. Looking forward to that matchup. Cherryville squeaked out a win last week against Avery County. Was up 20-0 at halftime and promptly didn't put any more points on the board, but they pulled out the win. Doesn't matter how it looks. It's kind of like golf. They don't make you draw any diagrams. They just make you have the higher score at the end of the game. So they beat Avery County 20-18. Traveling up to Lincoln County to take on West Lincoln. We've got the completely unbiased Terry Reinhardt join me this evening doing color commentary. So try to keep him in line.
Well, I'm looking around. I've got a Cherryville couple hats, a couple. There's a Cherryville jersey there he could put on.
But yeah.
I'm just trying to find something to get Terry in the Ironman spirit for tonight.
Just remember, you have to work with him tomorrow morning.
Well, that's kind of going to be my lead-in for pregame.
Shannon, I might have to text you later. One of them ain't coming in tomorrow.
Maybe at least one. He might be running. He and Tom might be running just half the show tomorrow. So
So what's the Ironman got to do to go 2-0 here, Chip? You saw them last week.
I like their offense. I think their quarterbacks. Obviously, the offense is based around their quarterback. Both primarily, it's a run-based offense. I think if they can be a little dynamic between Sewell and I forget their starting quarterback's name off the top of my head right now, but they form a very good 1-2 punch. Can kind of keep the defense off balance on who to key in on. If both of them get going, they can stay in the game with West Lincoln. I've not had the chance to watch West Lincoln compete. I'm sure Terry will give us a good analysis of them. I think it ought to be a good game. Cherryville riding with some momentum. They can say they're going in undefeated. So excited to see how that matchup's going to go.
All right, Chip. Well, stay here for just 1 minute as we get through the. I'm gonna let you do the 21 through 25 in our power poll real quick.
Right.
Just for Dennis here. So we've got the power poll, and let me switch it over for the folks at home. And here we go. We're going to start. I'm going to get through first little bit. 39 Chase, 38 East Burke, 37 Jefferson, 36 Vesper City, 35 Forest View, 34 Kings Mountain, 33 Ford, 32 St. Stephen's, 31 Newton Conover, 30 Kramer, 29 West Iredell, 28 Lincoln, 27 West Lincoln, and 26 the East Gaston Warriors. So all those teams are -1 or worse. -3 is where Chase at. Give up 56 points last week to a 1A school. So, all right, Chip, I want you to give the points of power points, their record, and how many defensive points the 21 through 25 is given up. So start at 25, so you'll see the school, power points, their team record, and how many defensive points given up.
All right, so West Caldwell's at 25. It looks like there's no power points for them right now. Record's 0-1. Defense has given up 46 points to open the season up last week.
They lost to a 4A school, so they didn't lose any power points. So folks are still like, well, how'd they give up 46? Lost to South Caldwell, give up 46 to them. They put up 36 maybe in that game. It wasn't that bad. Go ahead, Chip.
Yeah, no, thank you for the clarification. North Iredell ranked 24th. They also 0 power points right now. They're 0-1. So far, defense has given up 35 points and kind of similar situation.
Exact same situation.
Okay, gotcha. Crest and their stellar play last week of playing nobody.
Undefeated Crest.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I knew that was coming in. Thank you, Dennis. No power points, 0, no record, no points given up by the defense yet because the defense hadn't been on the field. Number 22.
So Crest comes in right behind
Highland Tech,
number 22, our featured team of the night. See, Shannon, we got highlights for number 22 team, not 23. We don't do
like Shannon's contemplative look right there at the screen.
I love these boys early on in the season.
Ranked 22nd. They've got our first PowerPoint of the poll. 1-0, and I think that's 36 points that they've given up.
Yeah, 38. I'll make
38. I'm sorry, 38. My old eyes are failing me right now.
There you go.
And then rounding out 21st, the team Terry and I will be broadcasting this evening. Your Cherryville Ironmen, 1 PowerPoint, undefeated 1-0, defeated Avery last week. Gave up 18 points, but they put 20. That's why they're undefeated.
Now, here's how the power poll works for the folks wondering how Crest can get ahead of Highland Tech. I know you're concerned about that, Dennis. Well, if you win this week, you'll have 2 points. But if Highland Tech wins, they'll have 2-2, and then they'll be 2-0, so they'll still be ahead of you. So if Crest wants ahead of Highland Tech, they got to have Highland Tech lose tonight against Palmetto Christian, Shannon, for them to get ahead of them.
That's it.
in week 3, Chris.
Tough road.
Behind Highland Tech in week 3, Chris.
Wins matter. Wins matter.
Got to work on your schedule. Got to work on your schedule. All right. All right. Number 21, Chip. Then you can get out of here.
21. Cherville. One power point. Again, 1-0 undefeated. They gave up 18 points. They gave up 18 against Avery last week.
Andre said he's going to frame this power poll and have Dennis sign it this week. So we're going to see him here in just a little bit.
There you go.
He said he wants Will Boykins, Dennis Davis, his name right there on this frame.
We got Donnie Thurman sign it. Donnie's helping us out with Chris with Paul this evening.
Fellas, check the power poll is what Andre
It's
said.
not where you start, it's where you finish.
I know,
right, Shannon?
Yeah,
We're at 36 right now.
That's right. Yeah.
For you Kings Mountain fans at 34.
Yeah, that's why I'm at Kings Mountain. I'm like, okay, come on.
34, man. 34th.
They would. Okay.
That's not how it works.
I know it's not.
It's called earning your point. You can't hit a 3-pointer you ain't hit. Yeah, I mean, you can't get 3 points for a shot you ain't take yet.
I think what he's saying is you ought to be thankful Crest is ranked 23rd, or we ought to be thankful Crest is ranked 23rd right now because they've not had a chance to do anything yet.
I'm surprised Kevin put them that high.
I didn't put them anywhere. It's where they fall, right?
That's
behind
right. It's where they
Highland
earn.
Tech. Right, where they earned their spot right behind the Rams.
It's a consistent formula, right, Kevin?
Yep. All right, number 20, the Mountain Island Raptors. Thank you, Chip, for stopping in.
See y'all in the post game.
Mountain Island Raptors. Okay, so Cherville, Highland Tech, Mountain Island, Hunter Huss, and East Rutherford all got one PowerPoint. How do we do the tiebreakers? Well, folks, we do defensive points allowed. So East Rutherford and Hunter Huss, they both give up 0. Then what's the next tiebreaker? Well, Rutherford scored more points in this week's game, so they get the tiebreaker. So they're 18, Huss 19, and Mountain Island 20. You Ironmen are 21. North Lincoln is 17. Up through 14, I'll have 2 power points. North Lincoln is 17. North Gaston is 16. South Point is number 15. Polk County coming in at number 14 right now, and the Bunker Hill Bears are the first team, or the last team, I guess, with 3 power points. They got 28 points on defense last week. They're number 13 in the power poll. East Lincoln is number 12. They're 1-0, and they've given up 24 points. Shelby is number 11. They're 1-0, and they've given up 16. Bandy's is 1-0, and they've given up 14. Ashbrook is give up 13. Hendersonville give up 7. Burns give up 7. Community School of Davidson give up 7. And then here we keep going, 3 points apiece. Maiden, Brevard, and Hickory with shutouts. Hickory with the most points, so they get the tiebreaker at 3. Brevard at 4, and Maiden at 5, leaving us with 2 teams in the power poll this week with 4 power points. RS Central is number 2, the Hilltoppers, with a big win over the McDowell Titans. Shannon, 4A win. Impressive, right?
Yeah.
Thank you. Statesville with a 4A victory last week over, who did they beat? Does any of y'all got y'all's
Alexander
Central?
Central.
Alexander Central. So Statesville is our number 1 team after week 1 with 4 power points over a 4A team, and they gave up 21 points, breaking the tie with the Hilltoppers. Hilltoppers were number 1 a few years back for like 3 weeks in a row. They got a little streak there starting off the season.
Yeah, when you play Powder Puffs, they will.
You heard that from Shannon. All right.
It's all in the sketch.
Hey, you do need to keep an eye. I will say, being all seriousness or serious, Brevard, I heard they're supposed to be really good this year, so they may stay up in that top 5 for a while. Sure
That
enough.
could be.
Got all kinds of Blue Devils up there at the top of it right now. Well, our Noah's bookkeeping and tax service player of the week last week was Tristan Tate. Tristan had a big week on the offensive end and just all around. He had a helicopter touchdown, big play as well. So big night for Tristan Tate. Congratulations to him. We're going to have some nominees later on tonight for that. When we come back, we're going to do our predictions and pick some games. KDCBroadcasting.com.
You're listening to The Boss, WHS, Shelby, North Carolina, your beach oldies and sports stations. Online at KDCBroadcasting.com.
As we head into our Friday, it is going to be a hot and humid forecast with high temperatures mainly in the low to mid 90s. A lot of humidity across the area as well. There could be a few showers and storms as we head into this afternoon and evening, and any of those that do form could be a bit on the stronger side. We'll see a mix of sun and clouds today, a few lingering storms tonight, and then 91 degrees for our Saturday. I'm meteorologist Anthony Baglione in the Weather Center.
Currently from the KTC Broadcasting Studios, it's 6 o'clock, and the temperature is 91 degrees.
Before you buy insurance, call and compare at Witherspoon Insurance in Shelby, featuring names like Progressive, National General, and State Auto. They do it all. Auto, home, life, health, commercial, motorcycle, RVs, golf carts, and indemnity bonds with low down payments. Call 704-480-9595. or drop by their office at 125 North Lafayette Street in Shelby, right across from First Baptist Church. Serving Cleveland County since 1986, online at WitherspoonInsurance.com.
Finding your perfect floor starts at Floor in America in Kings Mountain. If you can dream it, they can do it at Floor in America. And come see their newly remodeled showroom. Select from up to 8 colors of waterproof LVP, now in stock. And now financing is available at Floor in America, and they'll be more than happy to come out to your home offering free measurements. Now, who does that? They do at Floor in America, 602 Slater Street in Kings Mountain, online at FloorInAmericaKingsMountain.com. Like them on Facebook, too. Your perfect floor starts at Floor in America, Kings Mountain.
If bowling's your game, head to George Pappas, Liberty Lanes in Gastonia. At Liberty Lanes in Gastonia, you'll find 32 lanes, 16 with bumpers for small children. Liberty Lanes is a smoke-free facility with a full snack bar and game room with pool tables, plus a pro shop too, providing bowlers of all skill levels with a fun-filled environment for both league and open bowling. That's George Pappas, Liberty Lanes, Highway 321 South, Gastonia.
If it's handed to you through a window to your front seat, it's clown shoes on the guys cooking my meat. A paper crown on a king that has no throne. Where's the good food like I got back home? Don't want it through a window. Give me a table, fork, and spoon, napkins and plate. Ribs, chops, fish, baked potato, salad and steak. Creekside is what you want. Creekside has what others don't. Creekside, forget the clowns. Creekside, the best in town. Creekside, it's where the finest dining is found. Creekside Restaurant. Creekside has what others don't. Creekside, forget the clown. Creekside, best in town. Creekside, it's where the finest dining is found. Creekside Restaurant.
Creekside Seafood and Steaks, 1025 Kaiser Street, off Highway 74 Bypass East in Shelby. Sandy's Country Christmas, 2536 West Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, is the place to go for all your decorative and craft items. They have an array of flags and mailbox covers, flowers for just 99 cents per stem or bush, and great gift ideas. And check out their new school supplies, pencils, erasers, crayons, pencil sharpeners, and math kits with rulers, protractors, and compass. New items are arriving each day, so stop in often at Sandy's Country Christmas. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. It's the place to go.
You work hard every day to provide for yourself and your family. Why not let someone else help out every now and then? As your local Farm Bureau insurance agent, that's why I'm here, for peace of mind, and to help you to protect what matters most to you in Cleveland County. I'm Bert Kostner. Call me at 704-482-2436 for a quick auto, home, or life insurance quote, and to learn more about how Farm Bureau Insurance can save you time and money. Be sure to ask for me, Bert Kostner, 704-482-2436.
Call Bert Kostner, your local Farm Bureau insurance agent, today.
And we're back on the Witherspoon Insurance of Shelby pregame show on Friday Night Football.
All right, so last year, Hendersonville at home lost 44-0 to West Henderson. Hendersonville 4-6 last year. Down year. Shannon, is it going to get any better in Dennis against the Falcons this year? Against the Hendersonville Bearcats at West Henderson tonight on the broadcast.
Well, let me find it.
All right.
Dennis, you want to take it first?
Well, your guess is as good as mine.
You lost your place there, sir.
Oh, there we go. So last week, Hendersonville defeated North Henderson 20-7. West Henderson defeated Newton Conover 51-33. I think it's going to be a good early matchup because one team, you got one team that can score, while the other team has a pretty good pretty stingy defense. So, but West Henderson, I like them at home. The past few years, they've been the big dog up there in Henderson County. So I'm picking them 45-31 to beat Hendersonville.
Well, Shannon, I'm like you. I'm going to have to give the nod to the home team. That's usually good for at least a touchdown. And in this case, I think West Henderson probably has a little bit more firepower than the Hendersonville Bearcats. I would think this is going to end up about 42 to 34 in favor of West Henderson.
The Wilkes Central Eagles travel to the Alexander Central Cougars tonight. Last year, Cougars won 20-13 at the Eagles. So Cougars at home this year, Shannon.
Yeah, well, last week, Wilkes Central lost to Ashe County 48-26, and we mentioned Mulligo Central lost to Statesville 36-21. I think the one thing that will hurt Wilkes Central is that they will not have the horses this year to compete early in the season, just like last year. I mean, they just couldn't. They didn't have enough to compete with them. So I like Alexander Central at home in this one, 38-14.
Well, Alexander's played, I think, better competition in Statesville. We always know that Statesville has speed and a pretty well-coached team, and I agree with you. I think Alexander Central is probably going to be the advantage of this one, and I think that's going to turn out to be like 32-13 in favor of Alexander Central.
All right, up next, Ashe County Huskies at the North Wilkes Vikings. Last year, Ashe County wins 48-0.
Well, both teams this year come in 1-0. Ashe defeated Wilkes 48-26, and North Wilkes defeated Elkin 26-21. I think Ashe will be a little bit tougher tonight, and I think they'll get this win easily. I've got them winning 31-7.
Well, I'm going North Wilkes as the home team, and I think in a mountain rivalry like this, that will have something. So I'm going 28-24. I'm going to give the advantage to North Wilkes. They might have a little something besides Gatorade and the jugs on the sideline.
Last year, I just lost it was 29-21. Community School of Davidson over Charlotte Country Day Buccaneers. Shannon, this year, Community School hosts Charlotte Country Day. What we got?
So both are 1-0. Actually, Charlotte Country Day is 2-0. So last week, Charlotte Country Day defeated Savannah Country Day 22-21, close the ball game. And then that was 2 weeks ago, then beat Swain County last week 21-11. They've got a quarterback, Khalil Wright, and running back Sam Jacobson that they're hanging their hats on. But the Community School of Davidson defeated West Iredale last week 38-7. Last week, Jake Johnson, their quarterback, threw for 347 yards. I think it'll be a good ball game, and I'm going to pick Community School of Davidson to go to Charlotte Country Day and pick up a win. I got 35-31.
Well, I'll tell you what, Community School of Davidson has surprised me a little bit last year, and the first of this year, I'm going to go with the Community School of Davidson. I think this is going to be a rock'em sock'em kind of game between these two teams, and I'm going to say that it looks like Community School of Davidson 38 and Charlotte Country Day 34.
East Surrey goes to Mount Airy. Granite Bears tonight. The Granite Bears last year on the road won 49-0. Will East Surrey have anything for the Granite Bears tonight, Shannon?
Well, last week East Surrey defeated Robbinsville 21-19 behind Stephen Keener. He had over 105 yards for the Cardinals. Mount Airy defeated North Surrey 50-14. This is a new coach from Mount Airy, and they're hoping to keep the train rolling this season like they have been the past few years. Mount Airy's tough. It seemed like a tough group of kids, and playing at home, I like them winning this game. I think they'll win it pretty easily, 49-21 over East Surrey.
And that Mount Airy coach is now at Freedom, Shannon.
Yeah.
And I think they've shown in the first week that they've still got a winning program, even though the coach has moved on to bigger competition, if you will. And I've got Mount Airy in a close game, 21-12 over East Surrey.
Last year, 43-29 victors was West Charlotte over Monroe. I guess probably a pretty tight game there for a little bit, I'm guessing. Shannon, for the folks at home can see the highlights on the radio. You can always watch The pregame show brought to you by Witherspoon Insurance of Shelby here on KTC Broadcasting YouTube channel. What you got on this one? The Lions and the Red Hawks, big name schools here.
Yeah, West Charlotte last week defeated Palisades 36-6. As we mentioned a while ago, Dennis, this is the team Shelby played in the Cleveland County Jamboree, and from what everyone saw, West Charlotte's for real. They're pretty quick.
Yeah,
they got some good size to them as well. Monroe last week defeated Central Davidson 32-7, and we've seen them in the past few years play at Burns in the playoffs, and they usually have good speed and especially very quick, good size have a good size and are very quick offensively. They played Crest in the Jamboree, but they could not get a good look because of the rain.
6 minutes.
Yeah,
total.
Total. So that tonight, this game will be on turf down there in Monroe. There'll be a lot of speed on the field. There'll probably be a lot of jawing back and forth because these schools, like you said, Kevin mentioned a while ago, they played each other about every year. So good rivalry getting started up there. But tonight, I like West Charlotte to defeat Monroe again, like they did last year, 35-20.
Well, West Charlotte and Monroe. Which one of the coaching staffs is going to beat the other coaching staff up in the post game?
Yeah.
It's always a tough thing when you play Monroe at Monroe. They tend to be a little fiery and not the greatest sportsmen, if you will.
I used to live down there. They're different.
Yeah.
It's a different group of
But
people.
West Charlotte is not the team that you want to challenge on that.
Right.
They've got a former Crest player, NC State player, Tennessee Titan, by the name of Chris Coleman, who's coaching down there. He'll bring a little class to that program, and they've got athletes. We saw them in the playoffs last year. They give Crest all they wanted, and I think even though Monroe has a player who's in the top 50 in the state of North Carolina, I think the overall strength and speed of West Charlotte will give them the victory 32-28 in a real slobber knocker.
All right, Dennis, next up we've got, and Shannon, next up we've got Smoky Mountain at Swain County, where last year the Maroon Devils won 14-0. So what you got on this one, Shannon?
Well, last week, Smoky Mountain defeated Cherokee 34-21. They're led by running back Aiden Johnson, who ran for 283 yards last week. Swain lost to Charlotte Country Day. We mentioned that a while ago, 21-11. Behind Johnson, I think Smoky Mountain will run all over Swain. I got them winning 38-21.
Well, Shannon, I'm going to agree with you. I think Smoky Mountain Mustangs are going to outperform the Maroon Devils of Swain County, and I think the score is going to be more like 34-13 in favor of Smoky Mountain.
All right, next up on the agenda, Inca Jets at the Pisgah Bears. Last season between these two teams, Inca and Pisgah, it was Pisgah by a lot, 56-3, Shannon.
Yeah, I don't know about this year. I think it'll be different. Inca, they won last week 48-8. I don't know who they played.
Here you go.
I don't know who they
Shannon,
played.
last year it was 56-3.
You got Highland Tech at 11, or whatever it is. All right.
22.
So Pisgah lost to a good. Now we mentioned that Brevard team a while ago. Pisgah lost to them last week, 35-0. Usually that game's a pretty close ball game. It's hard to pick a team that didn't score a point last week that played. Okay, so I'm going with Inca in this one until Pisgah can prove they're worthy of being picked. Inca 35, Pisgah 14.
All right, Dennis.
Well, Pisgah Crest tied in the scoring column last week, but Crest didn't play. Shannon, this is always one of those mountain rivalries. It's sort of like Crest and Shelby, you know, the people and their cousins and this, that, and the other, and it's always hard fought. The score may not reflect it, but I'm with you. I think the Inca Jets have a superior team to the Pisgah Bears at this time, and I'm going with the Inca Jets by a score of 28 and the Pisgah Bears 12.
Irwin Warriors go to Mountain Heritage this week. Mountain Heritage big win last week over Chase, 56-0. They host Irwin, who they beat last year, 32-28.
Yeah, I think it'll be another close game this year. Irwin, if they haven't changed, they're going to run that spread offense. They're led by quarterback Caden Engel. They also have a good option to the spread is a Marion Smith, the running back. And they beat Daniel Boone last week, 56-0. Mountain Heritage defeated Chase, as Kevin, as you said, behind the rushing attack of Lane Chandler and Lawson Higgins. So it's going to be power versus, a power football versus the spread, I guess you could say that way. And the Mountain Heritage is playing at home. They must be, they're always tough. Let's just put it that way, and especially at home. I got them winning 35-28.
Well, Shannon, you're predicting a close game, and I'm going to go along with you, and I'm going to go along with Mountain Heritage to win that one. I think it's going to be 28-21 with Mountain Heritage pulling that one out.
So we got Polk County at Tuscola next on the schedule. The Columbus school. Let's see. At Tuscola, let me look at last year's score real quick for you folks. Give you a little inside. Tuscola won 29-23 last year. So 6-point victory for the Mountaineers. Shannon?
Polk County defeated Madison 30-0 last week behind quarterback Gunnar and running back Dante Tingling. Yes, that's how you say it. Both of them had over 100 yards each in that game. Tuscola fell to Asheville 42-6. And usually Tuscola is big and powerful in their offensive attack. This year, it may be a rebuilding year for them. I don't know. I don't know how good Asheville is either. But it's tough. Like I said a while ago, it's tough to pick for a team that did not score a single point. Well, they did score. They scored 6. But to play at Tuscola is going to be tough. And I like Polk. Polk seems to do everything right. They're not going to make many mistakes. And I think they'll come back down the mountain at 2-0. I got them winning 28-10 over Tuscola. Maybe the first win ever for them. I don't know. Against them.
Go ahead, Dave.
Well, I think the fact that they're playing at Tuscola can be a tough place to play, Shannon. It gets a little cool up there and a little hostile, if you will. But Polk County Wolverines are well coached, well prepared. I've got Polk County winning this one 34-14 over Tuscola.
All right, next up, Starmount at North Iredell. Last year, the Rams won 32-29 over the Raiders of North Iredell. Shannon, what you got on this one?
Well, Starmount has a quarterback named Luke Collins, and as he goes, that's how Starmount would go. He's their quarterback, and I think he's a one-man show up there because he also rushed the ball, I think, for near 100 yards last week, threw for over 100 in their win against Trinity last week, 43-0. North Iredell, they fell to South Iredell 35-14, and that's a county matchup, rivalry game for them probably. But if North can stop Collins, they'll win this game, and I think it'll be another close game like last year. I've got it 28-27. I think Starmount can win it.
Well, the ghost of Greg Lloyd is still present at Starmount. He taught those boys some basic skills in his 1 year there, and that's allowed the quarterback and the Starmount people to do a little creative things with their offense. And I think they're going to be able to pull this one out over the North Iredell Raiders tonight. And I think they're going to score a couple of points. I think it's going to be something like 27 for Starmount. And I think it's going to be like 14 for North Iredell.
All right, Winston-Salem Prep will travel to Lake Norman Charter. Last year, the Knights of Lake Norman won 30-6 over the Phoenix. Shannon?
Yeah, both teams come in at 1-0 this week. Winston-Salem defeated Bonnie Cone Leadership Academy, whatever that is, only 20-6. Lake Norman defeated West Columbus 48-8. Lake Norman, I think, will be the better team.
Somebody else plays Bonnie Cone this week, but they're not on my list. Sorry,
Highland,
Shannon,
I think Highland's got them, but
no, they don't.
Oh, okay. Figured they would.
Go ahead.
I mean, they're going to schedule tough. So anyway, I think this game, it may be over now. I think Lake Norman wins this one easily, 56-14.
I'm going to go with Lake Norman too, Shannon. I'm not sure that the score will be as exciting as you make it, but I think it's probably going to be in the neighborhood of 48 for Lake Norman Charter and Winston-Salem Prep 12.
All right, Highland Tech tonight may have a big win coming up on their schedule. That must be they are playing tonight. They're not playing Palmetto Christian. That must have changed from my list. So I'm going to have to change that. They are playing Bonnie Cone. I thought I had that on the list. So you got that right, Shane, on that. But it wasn't on that earlier in the week because I don't know. I just made Palmetto Christian. So
They're not going to run away.
I know I made that artwork yesterday or the day before.
They're going to schedule the tough games.
All right, so you got Bonnie Cone Leadership Academy. Did they play last year? Let me check and see, just in case. Nope, it's not looking like it. Shannon, what you got on this one?
I think they played IGM. Bonnie Cone did. Anyway, so I think IGM, same difference. Highland Tech last week beat Palmetto Christian 52-38 to go to 1-0 on the season.
Well, that's who I had last week. I just didn't update the thing.
Oh, okay.
That's where I messed up. I forgot to update the artwork.
Yeah.
Sorry about the. They're looking to go 2-0 in the season.
And I think they will. Like I said, and that school may be like a magnet. I don't know what that school is, but I think Highland Tech. Well, Highland Tech's a magnet school, right? Is it a magnet school?
Yes.
That it's called. So,
Yes. Right.
I think they've been playing for a few years now. So why not give them the win? I think Highland wins 49-28.
49. You think they're going to score big? Huh?
Put it on them, Rams.
I tell you what.
Put on the gas.
I think I'm going to run the score up too, but I'm going to make it 28 for Highland Tech, and I'm going to make it 21 for their opponent.
That's going to be way behind the Rams if they mess around too much tonight.
I tell you what.
Christian is at Thomas Jefferson Griffons tonight. Last year, Asheville Christian won 43-22 at home, but the Griffons are at home tonight. Can they pull off the victory, Shannon?
Well, no. Thomas Jefferson lost last week to Greenville Hurricanes 25-21, which was a surprise to me, maybe to everybody. I don't know, but I definitely was surprised by that. They're facing a team tonight that likes to throw the ball. Last week, Asheville Christian Academy had over 300 yards passing in a blowout win. Thomas Jefferson may be in trouble, but I like Asheville Christian at home, 42-6.
Well, I'm going to go with Asheville Christian in this one. Thomas Jefferson is in one of those rebuilding years, to say it politely. They're in that situation where their athletes come along in spurts. And this year, the spurt is not there for them to be competitive with most of the teams they're playing. So I'm going to go with Asheville Christian, 48, and Thomas Jefferson, 14.
The Battle of the Mountains. Watauga County versus Avery County. Pioneers and Vikings. Last year, the Pioneers won 55-6. Shannon, the Avery County Vikings got a little fight in them after almost coming back and beating the Ironmen this week.
This is one of those games that any other year this would have played, it'd have been like, well, Watauga's going to win this one big. But what surprised me, Watauga only beat TC Robeson last week 14-0. Now, TC Robeson may be pretty good. I don't know. And then Avery coming back. What do you say? Cherbourg was up 20-0.
20-0. 20-18.
Yeah, coming back there late in the game to make it close. I think Watauga probably a little bigger, obviously a little faster than Cherbourg. But I'm gonna have to go with the Pioneers on this one for sure. But it's still one of those games that makes you say, okay, how good is Watauga? Because that 14 normally they beat teams pretty easily.
Yeah.
Early in the season, so that 14-0 last week win they had, that kind of throws up some red flags for me. But I think Watauga wins this one. I'm gonna say like 28-6.
Well, putting things in perspective, Watauga is a 4A school.
Mm-hmm.
Avery is a 2A school, barely. And so size-wise, you should favor Watauga. And I think that will favor Watauga in the long run tonight. Down in the trenches, Shannon, where it counts, the Watauga boys are going to beat the Avery County boys, although there'll be plenty of fight down there. And I think Watauga is going to beat them, but they're not going to be able to run the score up like we think they would be able to run the score up. So I'm going to go with Watauga at 34 and Avery at 14.
Well, Dow holds Mitchell, host Mitchell tonight. Last year, Mitchell 35-6 victors in this game. Shannon,
I think last week, RS played McDowell, and I think that was a close game, like 31-28 or 41-38 or something like that. Again, Mitchell's in that conference with Mountain Heritage, so they're going to be that's a ground pound and ground game, and they're going to run the ball. McDowell, I think, is probably I think McDowell probably had a little bit more athletes than Mitchell will, but it's still one of those things. I think Mitchell's going to be better coached. I think Mitchell wins this one 28-14.
Well, McDowell is a 4A school.
Yeah.
But they don't play like it. And then you've got Mitchell, which is really a 2A school, but they don't play like it. So I'm going with you. I think Mitchell wins this game, and I think they beat McDowell this time tonight. I think they're going to beat them by a score of 42-21.
All right. Brevard travels to Knoxville tonight. That Knoxville, to play the Knoxville Catholic Fighting Irish. It's a private school in Knoxville, Tennessee, Roman Catholic. Brevard last year lost to Knoxville Catholic 40-13. Shannon, are they going to be able to pull one off tonight in Tennessee?
Brevard, they've got a quarterback named Benjamin Kessinger, and I think he's got a pretty good arm. Like I said, they defeated Pisgah, or he's got a good receivers with a good arm. They defeated Pisgah last week 35-0. And like you said, they're looking to go up to Knoxville for a big win. Knoxville defeated Lakeway Christian Academy, whoever that is, 50-13. So both teams can put points on the board, or they, in the first week they did. Like I said, I think Brevard's going to be pretty good this year, and I'm gonna pick them up in Volunteer land. I think they'll go up there and take the win, and I've got them winning 56-21.
Wow, you're calling for a lot of points there from the Brevard Blue Devils. And I think very well they may be able to put them on the board. And I think it's going to be more like 48 for Brevard and 42 for Knoxville.
All right, Covenant Day, we go to Mountain Island Charter tonight. Mountain Island, they did not play each other last year. Mountain Island Charter, their record was 8-4. Covenant Day, they're the Lions, if you were wondering about that. They went 5-6 last year, but they did not play each other. Shannon, what you got in this one? Raptors hosting the Lions.
So Covenant Day defeated Harold's Christian Academy last week 28-6. Couldn't really find anything else on them. But Mountain Island Charter, they defeated the Cabarrus Stallions 55-6. Their quarterback is Grayson Harvey. He threw for 419 yards and had 7 touchdowns in their win last week. I think those numbers will probably be around there again. I think Harvey will have a big night. I got Mountain Island winning 56-20.
Mountain Island is one of those teams that likes to put points on the board. They've had some athletes in the past. Coach Washington believes in a good offense, and he's got, I think, one of his boys is a running back now. Again, so look for him to break out tonight. And I think you'll probably see something in the neighborhood of 48 points for Mountain Island Charter. And I think you'll see something like 34 points for the Covenant Day Lions.
All right, folks, when we come back, we've got more predictions, the rest of the games to go through. Go talk about our broadcast and more here on the Witherspoon Insurance of Shelby pregame show, brought to you by Witherspoon Insurance of Shelby. We'll be back on KDCBroadcasting.com.
Say goodbye to those hot, sticky days in the scorching sun. James River delivers the Back to Cool special on select John Deere cab tractors. Experience ultimate comfort in a roomy, air-conditioned 3R, 4R, or 5E 3-cylinder series cab tractor. Plus, save a cool $5,000 off MSRP on top of 0% for 60-month financing. Comfort has never been so affordable. Visit JamesRiverEquipment.com/cool for more. Ends 8/31/24 with approved credit from John Deere Financial. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Built upon a solid foundation of cast iron and steel, the Kubota L-Series is part of our under 100 horsepower tractor lineup rated #1 for reliability. They feature powerful Kubota diesel engines and easy operation. The durable Kubota L-Series. Talk to your local Kubota dealer today to schedule a demo. Go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Your Kubota dealer is Parker Farm Service, located at 126 Bessie Drive on Oak Grove Road at the Highway 74 bypass in Kings Mountain.
The Big E at Gaffney, South Carolina's outlet mall off I-85. While school's out, the Big E offers the Kids Bowl free summer bowling program. Visit kidsbowlfree.com for all the details. Big E also has the summer movie series for only $5. Includes a great film plus popcorn, a 16-ounce drink, and 1 game card. From the laser tag arena to mini golf, bumper cars, and more, groups from churches, daycares, and birthday parties are invited. TheBigEGaffney.com.
I work my tractors really hard. I give all they've got. I demand as much horsepower as they can possibly give me. I tell you what, I've had these Coyote tractors for probably 10 years now. They've served me well. Been good.
Your Coyote dealer is Weston Sales, Highway 18 North, the 27 West intersection in Vail.
If it's handed to you through a window to your front seat, it's clown shoes on the guys cooking my meat. A paper crown on a king that has no throne. Where's the good food like I got back home? Don't want it through a window. Give me a table, fork, it's food, napkins, and plate. Ribs, chops, fish, baked potato, salad, and steak. Creekside is what you want. Creekside has what others don't. Creekside, forget the clowns. Creekside, the best in town. Creekside, it's where the finest dining is found. Creekside Restaurant. Creekside has what others don't. Creekside, forget the clown. Creekside, best in town. Creekside, it's where the finest dining is found. Creekside Restaurant.
Creekside Seafood and Steaks, 1025 Kaiser Street, off Highway 74 Bypass East in Shelby. Summertime heat is on the way. Is your air conditioning system ready for it? Make sure by calling Shelby Heating and Air. And if it needs repair, we've got good news for you. Right now, get a free residential service call with same-day repair over $250. But hurry, offer won't last long. Just call Shelby Heating and Air at 704-487-7877. That's Shelby Heating and Air, 1990 Eves Road in Shelby. Online at shelbyheating.com. Since 1968, Putnam Distributors in Patterson Springs has been serving this area with a full line of automotive products, including oils, transmission fluids, antifreeze, filters, chemicals, parts, and supplies for all types of automobiles and trucks, with many brands to choose from. They sell to individuals or wholesale. Just visit the walk-in counter. Putnam Distributors, 1626 Peterson Drive off Highway 180 south of Shelby. Call 704-487-9395 or visit the website at PutnamDistributors.com. Putnam Distributors in Patterson Springs, offering quality automotive parts and supplies for over 50 years. Ahoy, mateys! The shrimp boil is back at Pete's Fish Box in Cherryville, and it's available every day. And don't forget about Frog Leg Friday. People are hopping in for it. And try their perch and chicken tender specials each and every Saturday, along with big dinner plates. Walk up or drive through. Call 704-802-4015 for Pete's Fish Box. Again, 704-802-4015. Pete's Fish Box, 116 West 1st Street in Cherryville. Open 3 to 8 Wednesday through Friday. And sponsors of the Friday Night Football pregame meal for KTC Broadcasting.
This year celebrates the 100th anniversary of the Cleveland County Fair. Dates are set for September 26th through October the 6th. There will be plenty of great entertainment to help celebrate the 100th year, plus ride-offer rides. We'll be back again with over 40 rides. See the demolition derbies, the bands, magic acts, the livestock, and more. This year will be the biggest of all, so plan now to attend the 100th edition of the Cleveland County Fair, September 26th through October 6th. Buy tickets online at clevelandcountyfair.com.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, back to the Witherspoon Insurance Agency pregame show.
Welcome back. Kevin Hastings along with Shannon Allen and Dennis Davis going through some games. I'm going to turn it over to them for just a minute, let them go over some of that stuff as we get some of the games set up around the area tonight. Don't forget, on the broadcast tonight, we got Burns and Crest, Cherryville and West Lincoln, Forest View, East Lincoln, AC Reynolds at Shelby, and Robertson at East Rutherford. If you want to listen to any of those games, ktcbroadcasting.com. Click on the links to the games or go to our Facebook and Twitter pages for links as well. All right, Shannon, I'm going to let you guys start in that top right corner and work your way across here as I go down the hall for a minute. We're going to start off there. It looks like Chase.
All right.
All right, so Chase coming to 0-1, Dennis. They're going to be at Kramer, who is also 0-1. What do you think about this matchup?
I think Chase is down this year. They've had some pretty good talent the last few years. I know they, for whatever reason, their former quarterback is over at Crest now, and that leaves them with a new guy. I don't know who he is or how he's doing. The Kramer Storm has been making some progress. This is pretty much an even match at this point in terms of personnel. I would have to call this one, I think, since they're playing at Kramer, in favor of Kramer by a score of 14-10.
Yeah, I agree with you. Chase had success in the past few years, and they're looking to build on that success. But losing last week against Mountain Heritage 54-0, that was a, that I don't know if that was a wake up call or if that was a, that's going to be the norm of things to come this week or this year. I hope it's not for the Trojans, but that was really a surprise by that much. Let's put it that way. East Lincoln defeated Kramer last week. Both these two teams, both teams played two teams that are pretty good. Mountain Heritage is good, East Lincoln's good. But I'm gonna go with Kramer at home, simply because Chase is yet to score. And Kramer put up 24 against a pretty good East Lincoln team. So I think Kramer wins this one 31-20.
Okay.
Your next game, Dennis, is West Iredale 0-1 at West Caldwell, also at 0-1.
Well, in this case, flip a coin.
Yeah.
Flip a coin because West Iredale and West Caldwell, neither one are going to ring the victory bell many times this year. And I think since they're playing at home, I would probably go with Caldwell in a very close game tonight. And I would say that they're probably going to win, in this case, 21-20 over West Iredale.
Well, I'm opposite. I think both these two teams, they got thumped last week. West Iredale lost 38-7. West Caldwell lost 46-14. Just going in things of the past, like you said, flip a coin. I got West Iredale winning this one. I've got it 28-21 over West Caldwell. Getting closer back here to the house. Bessemer City will be at North Gaston. Bessemer at 0-1. North Gaston at 1-0. What you think?
Well, how about them Wildcats? Coach Wilson's come over there. He's instilled a little bit more spirit in the North Gaston team. They've been lacking that a little bit. Bessemer City is Bessemer City. They're doing the best they can with what they've got. I'm going to go with the North Gaston 3A Wildcats over the Bessemer City Yellow Jackets 2A, and I think this is a chance for North Gaston to stretch its legs a little bit tonight, and I see them at 34-13 over Bessemer City.
Well, just giving some of these local players a little shout out. The Yellow Jackets, Bessemer City, they're led by quarterback Gavin Chastain. They also have a running back, Keon Smith. That's their main weapons. North Gaston, they have Dwayne Davis and Isaiah Ewing. Both of them had 2 touchdowns apiece last week in their big win over East Gaston. Defensively, North had 4 sacks, and so they know how to get to the quarterback, and that's going to.
It will be a little tougher for those guys that you mentioned.
Yeah.
On Bessemer City to run on these guys.
Right. Yeah, and but I'm like you. I think North moves to 2-0 again behind. Just there's a lot of excitement down there in Dallas, and another win would just build on that. I got it North winning 49-6.
Ooh.
So yeah, I think
you're crushing the Yellow Jackets.
Well, they didn't score last week at all against East Rutherford. I mean, you got to any sport you got to score to win.
Oh, true.
You know what I'm saying? So that's put the ball in the end zone, then we can talk. But you've got to be able to do that. So moving on, our Central at 1-0, big win over McDowell last week. We'll be at South Caldwell, another team that is 1-0. What do you think?
Oh, so we're skipping the East Burke.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, we did. Okay, yeah, East Burke and Freedom.
Okay. Freedom played a real heartbreaker last week.
Yeah.
And lost in the last little bit of that game. I don't know how for real East Burke is, but I think East Burke is going to be a challenge for Freedom, but Freedom has the ability to improve and grow each week because the coach from the Granite Bears came down to Freedom.
Yeah, Mount Airy.
Yeah. And he is a much better coach in the past with his resume and record than they've had in some time at Freedom. And so it's a matter of not only getting the kids to play, but getting their attitude to be a winning attitude. He's capable of doing that. So I'm going to go with the Freedom Patriots tonight to win their first home game this year. And I'm going to have them winning on this night at 32-28 over East Burke.
Okay, so before Patton and Drone were built, this game was, I think this was called Fat Friday up in Burke County.
Oh, yeah.
And it was played in October. And again, both teams had enough time to get ready to play each other, having some games under their belt. So these two programs are no strangers at all. Last week, East Burke lost to Christ School 26-0. Freedom lost to a really good Bunker Hill team, 35-28. But both teams have struggled the past few years. I think the new coach at Freedom, again, just like with Wilson down at North Gas and Lloyd at Crest, I think it brings a new air of excitement. It brings to the community, for the players, for the school.
Erase the board, and we're starting over.
Yeah, starting over. And the way that Freedom played last week, I think this gives the Patriot fans a lot to talk about, a lot to be excited about. And I'm like you. I think Freedom wins this one at home in a big way, 42-14.
Okay.
Over East Burke. So now, RS Central at South Caldwell.
Okay. Well, now RS won last week, which is early in the season. They tend to schedule teams that are not quite as tough, and they get off to a good start every year, and then reality sits in. Tonight they're taking on South Caldwell, which is a little bit of a reality check for them, but not that much tonight. They're going to South Caldwell, so I'm going to favor the home team here slightly, and it's going to be 28-24. South Caldwell over the RS Central Hilltoppers.
Well, both teams had real good wins last week. RS, you mentioned, defeated McDowell 41-38 in a close game. They have a running back, Carlin McIntyre. He had 237 yards last week for the Hilltoppers. South Caldwell defeated their rival West Caldwell convincingly, 46-14, behind their running back Keon Oates and quarterback Corbin McGinnis, and both had over 100 yards in the win, respectively. If this game, I think, was being played at the Palace at RS, I would like their chances. But South Caldwell at home, I think, is different. But the thing about RS, they're gonna score points, and I don't think people realize what they've done the past few years. There may be one or two games they've gotten blown out.
Yeah.
But they're going to put points on the board. They're going to make you score to beat them. And again, I think though I'm like you. You had a 4-point win. I've got a 4-point game. I think South Caldwell wins, but I got it 35-31.
Could be
in a close game there.
But it's going to be just like I said, a real razor thin edge, and the home advantage, I think, goes to South Caldwell.
It does, yeah, it does. So East Gaston at 0-1 will be traveling to Catawba Ridge down in South Carolina, who is also at 0-1. What do you know about these two, Dennis?
Not a lot. This is one of those situations where East Gaston had a couple of good years.
Yeah.
But like so many of the schools at that level, they'll have a couple of good personnel, running backs, quarterbacks, receivers, or whatever, in spurts. And they may be real good last year, but then that falls off the table in the future. And it takes them a year or two to get those young kids back to that same level. That's what makes this one such a tough pick. I don't know a lot about Catawba Ridge Copperheads. They could be deadly, if they strike. But I'm going to give the edge to East Gaston Warriors in a close game because they have a tougher schedule and play tougher teams. So this is their chance to get that win particularly that first win, that might change their whole attitude about the thing. Now, I don't know how good Catawba Ridge is going to be, but I'm thinking that this game will turn out like 17-13 in favor of East Gaston.
Well, if this game was, any past 3 years, East Gaston had a, pretty potent offense behind their quarterback, Trenton Sherrill, who graduated. He was a 3-year starter there for East Gaston.
And good running backs.
Yeah, they had really good running backs. And, I think replacing them with, basically when you got a new quarterback, you've got to, especially behind a 3-year starter, that's going to be tough to do coming out of the gate. Catawba Ridge, last week they lost 47-37 against Chapin. They can put points on the board now, but they have problems stopping teams. I think this is where they'll turn it around. They did have 4 turnovers last week, but I think Catawba Ridge should. I think it will win pretty easily. I think East Gaston's going to have they're going to have a hard time these first few games. I don't think it's still conference games when they start playing. And I don't mean this disrespectfully by any means, but when they in that 1A, 2A conference, when they start playing those 1A teams, that's when they're going to start gaining their momentum and building confidence and winning. So I've got Catawba Ridge winning this one pretty easily tonight, 49-7 over East Gaston. Let's see, going next. Who we got next, Dennis? I can't.
Do you want to go Cox Mill and Kings Mountain, or do you want to go up to Newton, Conover, and Hickory?
JP, we need to do a break.
JP.
Take a break? No. What do you think?
Yeah, we can do one.
Yeah,
Take it away, JP.
Yeah, we're going to do a break. We'll be back here on KTC.
As we head into our Friday, it is going to be a hot and humid forecast with high temperatures mainly in the low to mid 90s. A lot of humidity across the area as well. There could be a few showers and storms as we head into this afternoon and evening, and any of those that do form could be a bit on the stronger side. We'll see a mix of sun and clouds today, a few lingering storms tonight, and then 91 degrees for our Saturday. I'm meteorologist Anthony Baglione in the Weather Center.
Currently from the KTC Broadcasting Studios, it's 6:47, and the temperature is 89 degrees.
Before you buy insurance, call and compare at Witherspoon Insurance in Shelby, featuring names like Progressive, National General, and State Auto. They do it all. Auto, home, life, health, commercial, motorcycle, RVs, golf carts, and indemnity bonds with low down payments. Call 704-480-9595 or drop by their office at 125 North Lafayette Street in Shelby, right across from First Baptist Church. Serving Cleveland County since 1986. Online at WitherspoonInsurance.com.
Here comes Duke.
He's got it! Touchdown! Down he goes!
Attack the day.
10-5, good night! Hit hard, the ball came out. It slipped out of his hand and it's intercepted!
Bleed blue.
Wide open! Touchdown! And the Blue Devils walk it off at Wallace Wade.
Listen all season long on your home for Duke football.
On Carolina Country WCSL and the Boss WOHS. Ahoy, mateys! The shrimp boil is back at Peach Fish Box in Cherryville, and it's available every day. And don't forget about Frog Leg Friday. People are hopping in for it. And try their perch and chicken tender specials each and every Saturday, along with big dinner plates. Walk up or drive through. Call 704-802-4015 for Pete's Fish Box. Again, 704-802-4015. Pete's Fish Box, 116 West 1st Street in Cherryville. Open 3 to 8 Wednesday through Friday. And sponsors of the Friday Night Football pregame meal for KTC Broadcasting. Did you know Cleveland Lumber Company has a custom mill workshop? Well, they do. And if you need something custom made, see Cleveland Lumber Company in Shelby. From cabinets to doors to trim. And don't forget, they do screen repair too. See them for your Milwaukee and Makita power tools. Also, Ready Seal for those decks. It's goof-proof. Even you can do it. That's Cleveland Lumber Company, 217 Arrowwood Street in Shelby. Open Monday through Friday. They are the builder's choice. Cleveland Lumber Company in Shelby. The Chevy Summer Drive event continues at Marburger's Chevrolet in Shelby. Hurry in now and get $5,700, $50 total value when you trade in an eligible vehicle on a 2024 Chevrolet Silverado Cab LT. That's 10% below MSRP. and get low 1.9% APR financing on select 2023 and 2024 Chevy models when you finance through GMC Financial. Come check it out at Marburger Chevrolet, 200 West Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, online at marburgerchevy.net. Today's game has been brought to you in part by the law firm of Ted A. Grieve and Associates, personal injury lawyer. Ted is dedicated to providing professional and personalized service to every client. Their clients are assisted by highly trained staff members, which enhances the professionalism to their entire team. From auto accidents to workman's comp to Social Security disability claims, call on Ted A. Grieve, personal injury lawyer. Office is located in Shelby at 522 East Dixon Boulevard. Like them on Facebook too.
The Transportation Administration of Cleveland County continues to operate TAC, Cleveland County Transit and Reach. The Cleveland County Transit route will continue to be free to ride until further notice. For more information, call 704-482-6705. Again, 704-482-6705. For schedules and times, visit taxshelbync.com. That's taxshelbync.com. Drivers clean and sanitize their vehicles every route.
And we're back on the Witherspoon Insurance of Shelby pregame show here on Friday Night Football on KTC Broadcasting.
All right, thank you, JP. Dennis, before we get going with these other scores, we want to thank Pete's Fish Box of Cherryville for their sponsoring of our supper tonight.
That's good stuff. Pete took his rod and reel out today. You talk about fresh. Pete caught it, fried it up, and sent it over here to us.
That's right. So thank you to everyone at Pete's Fish Box there in Cherryville. That's on 116 West 1st Street in Cherryville. Open Wednesday to Saturday, 3 to 8 p.m. And all right, so Dennis, these next 5 games we're going to do, we're just going to give the scores so that way we can talk about the ones that are on the broadcast. First, we're going to start with Newton Conover at Hickory. What score do you think it'll be?
I've got Hickory 48, Newton Conover 14.
I got Hickory 42, Newton Conover 7. St. Stephen's traveling to Bunker Hill.
Got Bunker Hill 42, St. Stephen's 14.
And I'm close from Bunker Hill 49, St. Stephen's 6. Ford will be hosting Bandies.
Well, I've got Bandies with 28 and Ford with 12.
I think it'll be bigger than that. I got Bandies winning 56-0 on that one. Charlotte Christian 1-0 will be traveling to Belmont.
My number one team in the conference this year, the South Point Red Raiders, are going to score 48 and Charlotte Christian 34.
Yeah, I think South Point home field advantage is going to play big in that one. 28-14, I got South Point winning. High Brighton will be going to Hunter Huss.
Hunter Huss is loaded this year. I think they're a threat in that conference. I've got them winning 38-21 over High Brighton.
I got it 35-20, Huss with the win. Last game for the scores, Cox Mill 0-1 at Kings Mountain, also 0-1.
Well, Kings Mountain's got to get back on track a little bit this week. I'm not sure how good their offense is. Let's keep it 28 and Cox Mill 21.
I think the Mountaineers get back on the win streak tonight, 42-28 over Cox Mill. Okay, Dennis, these next 5 games.
Yeah, we'll talk a little more about that.
A little bit more in depth. Lincolnton at 0-1 traveling to North Lincoln, North Lincoln 1-0. What do you think?
Do not underestimate North Lincoln. They are probably the best team in that conference this year. I have them beating the Lincoln Wolves 34-13.
Okay, I think this game, Lincoln is going to bring something that West Lincoln did not bring to the table. They're going to spread it out where they have athletes all over the field, and I think Rashad Lynch and Carson Cloninger are going to be key for the Wolves to win this game. North Lincoln defeated West Lincoln last week 27-14. The Knights, they pretty much spied the quarterback, and Jalen Winnix for West Lincoln did a great job containing them. This week they have to contain Lincoln, though. They got some speed, and it's going to be a challenge. I think I think Lincoln goes to North Lincoln and picks up the win 24-21.
That would be an upset.
Yeah. All right, next game will be the Rams of T.C. Roberson traveling to, where is East Rutherford?
Forest City.
I know it's Forest City, but it's a community out there. Anyway, I don't know where it is. But
it's not Colfax, that's Ellenboro.
Anyway, North Ellenboro. Let's put it that. Traveling to East Rutherford. What do you think about this one?
East Rutherford, I predicted to carry on with a win tonight, 21-12 over Roberson.
Well, Phil Russ, good friend of ours here at the show. Phil is coach at East Rutherford, the football coach, and also the athletic director. Beating Bessemer City last week was a statement. They got a good quarterback in Landon Flynn. He had over 120 yards passing. And Brandon Pinkerton, their running back, 115 yards on the ground. That's that game TC lost. We talked about that a while ago, losing to Watauga 14-0. Again, that intrigues me because normally Watauga walks the dog on teams early in the season.
Yeah.
Again, you don't know what's going on there, but I think Roberson will be better than Bessemer City. But I think East Rutherford still wins this one for their home opener, 28-20 over Roberson. All right, Shelby at 1-0 will be hosting AC Reynolds at 0-1. What do you think?
Well, Shelby started a little slow for Shelby, but they came on strong and they beat Kings Mountain. AC Reynolds, not as potent maybe as they have been in previous years. I'm picking the Shelby Golden Lions tonight, 31-13 over the AC Reynolds Rockets.
Yeah, last week Shelby winning 32-16 over Kings Mountain. Looking at Kings Mountain in that game, they were, bigger, physical. I mean, they look bigger, they look more physical on just for the eye contest or the eye test. But when the game played, Shelby's defense was just they're so quick on the defensive side of the ball. I think that contained Kings Mountain's running attack, and Kings Mountain really didn't have an answer for them. Now, Kings Mountain did lead, I think, at halftime.
Yeah.
But Shelby answered the bell in the second half and pretty much just shut Kings Mountain down. Shelby's got a quarterback, Land Farmer. He's a junior this year. He's a big threat for them, big arm. They're going to have to find that one receiver they need to go to.
Well, they had the big kid last week who made a couple of good catches.
Yeah, Tyler Morgan, who's a sophomore. So he did well. But last year they had Isaiah Bridges who could spread the field. I mean, just throw the ball up, he'd go get it. This year they don't have that yet. But they have a good running back in Tristan Tate, as Kevin mentioned, was the numbers bookkeeping.
Tough runner.
Yeah, he was a player of the week last week. So I agree with you. I think Shelby, AC Reynolds brings in their Max Guest, the kid who had almost 300 yards 2 years ago against the Lions. But I think Shelby wins this one at home 35-14. Going quickly, Forest View at East Lincoln.
Well, in this case, East Lincoln is what they usually are.
Yeah.
They're a very well-prepared team with a lot of athletes. I've got them winning 44-14 over Forest View.
Yeah, I think this game's over early, 49-7. East Lincoln, I think they've got too many weapons on offense, and I think they'll be able to do whatever they want to do against Forest View, and Forest View will have to like it, and that's just the way it is. Cherryville, 1-0, big game up in Vale, going to West Lincoln, looking to move to 2-0. Do you think the Ironmen can do it?
Well, in the Chip Carter Classic, and whoever his guest host is, the West Lincoln Rebels, I think are going to pull this one out over Cherryville, although Cherryville is much better, having been undefeated at this game going in. But West Lincoln is pretty tough, and they're going to show them what it's like to go over to Vale and have to play a football game. 27-12 West Lincoln.
Well, give a little credit to the kids from Cherryville. Andron Patterson, the quarterback, and running back David Howell, Rashawn Sewell, and also Patterson running the ball. They did well last week for the Ironmen. And for Patrick Bowman picking up his first win. But again, you're going to play West Lincoln. West Lincoln coming off, pretty much getting shut down by North Lincoln last week. They've got quarterback Gideon Allen and running back Jalen Winnicks, North Lincoln did a good job containing them. But I think for West to be successful, and some may disagree with this, I don't know, but in my opinion, Winnicks was your main kid last year. Give him the ball now. You can't give him 8 touches and expect to win the game. Like they did last week.
And they are at West Lincoln, and got to watch out for that cannon.
You got to, yeah. And their light show, they got a great light show up there too when they score a touchdown. But I think West Lincoln bounces back tonight, and in a game against Cherryville, all because they're going to be upset from last week. I got it 42-10.
25 seconds to get this one in the next game, man.
We got
it, man. We're good. Burns and Cherryville, or Burns and Crest.
If you hadn't interrupted, we'd be through.
All right, go ahead, Dennis. Burns at Crest. What you got?
I've got Crest 32, Burns 13. Tom Cinefani will be on the call for the Burns Bulldogs. They're recovering, but they're not there yet. The Crest Chargers, number 4 ranked in the state. I think I'll go with Crest.
There you go.
Who you got?
Crest. I think Crest right now is probably a little bit better team than Burns.
All right, we'll be back next week. Coming up on KTC Broadcasting, Burns and Crest, listen on YouTube. Forest View at East Lincoln, listen on YouTube. Listen on the radio, Cherville and West Lincoln, 92.9 FM. Shelby hosts AC Reynolds, 101.5 FM and 107.5 FM in Rutherford County tonight. Roberson at East Rutherford will be back for the Red Zone channel at 7:30. 7:30 for Red Zone Radio highlights for all the games around the area, ktcbroadcasting.com.
You pull, you save money at Auto Parts U Pull and Scrap Metal in Shelby and Lincoln.